bread basket of Europe because we are farmers. But if we need to be fearless, if we need to protect our land, we will. We had today, I apologize on behalf of all the Brits that are here, that we had an overload of craziness and delusion today. The people that were passing by were telling me, why am I not fighting there? Don't worry, we volunteer enough and we help more than just coming to a war rally. They say they support Putin. Can you imagine? So he says he supports Putin. So the only effort that he gonna make is to come here and just shout, go to Ukraine and fight for Ukraine. Can you imagine? This is the whole effort. We collected just this summer, I think more than 25,000 pounds, and we bought drones, we bought uniforms, purification tablets to clean the water after the floods. Every single terrorist act that Russia does, we will fix, we will rebuild. But the only thing that can be fixed is a father that dies and never sees his child. A husband that never comes back. So many women are in Ukrainian army as nurses, as army personnel. I read a story about one model. She did modeling. She was very wealthy. She is still very wealthy. She's still alive. She trained to be a sniper in Ukrainian army. And she says, I can do it for free. I don't need to get paid. It doesn't need to be a contract army. I will defend my home because I worked hard. My husband built it and I want to keep it. No one, even Russians, don't want to live in Russia. If you see a Russian smiling, it's usually abroad. And it's usually middle class who don't care about the war because they can buy themselves out of this war. They call it special military operation. So why they limit your public and your liberties in Russia if you avoid, as a non-professionally trained person, you avoid being drafted. Because Russia is a terrorist state.
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 And why do we ask? Why do we beg? Why do we shout? Stop the genocide in Ukraine. We only shout that because what is going on in Ukraine is a genocide. Not only because what they do, but how they describe it. If they say that Ukraine needs to be cleansed, the only other person in my memory in history who used word cleansing when he speaks about a different country was Adolf Hitler. Guess what? In 1939, both USSR and Nazi Germany attacked Poland. And the only reason why their agreement to not attack each other was broken, and as far as I remember, it's the only agreement that USSR/Russia never broke was that agreement. And the only reason why they didn't break it, because Hitler broke it first. How many Minsk agreements do we need to have? How many ceasefires we need to have for them to just break it? What does Putin say last week about peace negotiation? He says we are open for negotiation. But the only reason why we can't have that negotiation is because Ukrainians keep advancing. They are not stopping. Ask, where are they advancing? They are advancing on their own land. Can you imagine? Can you imagine this delusion that he wants to freeze this conflict? Yet he's threatening Poland that help us. The media is talking, Russian media is talking about Moldova. He wants to open Russian schools in Africa. This is not a Ukrainian war. Do you really want to live in a world where Russia takes over Ukraine, starts to build up forces like they did last year on the borders of Poland or Moldova, restart conflict in Transnistria? Can you imagine? And then, can you imagine that they can use Russian language to start any conflict in Africa when they say the Russian speaking in Africa are being treated unfairly? Guess what? I grew up in Latvia. We had all the language reforms, and in Lithuania we had those reforms. Latvia said in 2000 to me, this is the last year you will be able to study in Russian language, in a Russian-speaking college. From 2001, you will need to pay to study in a foreign language. Lithuania has Lithuanian language. This is why we have Lithuanians here who support us. In Ukraine, we have our own language. In Britain, I'm talking to you in English. At work, I speak in English. Can you imagine me saying, I will speak my own language. I don't care if you don't understand me. Because they don't attack Latvia only because they are in NATO. They don't attack Lithuania because they are in NATO. Guess who helps us the most? Guess who gave most of their defense budget to Ukraine? They gave it to Ukraine because they understand this war is not just Ukrainian. Ask Lithuanians. Ask Finland how grateful they are that we are still standing. They are part of NATO because the whole world is part of support for Ukraine. Stop Putin, stop the war!
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 Russia is a criminal state.
Russia is a criminal state.
Russia is a terrorist 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 state.
And I just want to remind us, before we sing our beautiful national anthem, I just want to remind you that we are gathering here every single week since 2014. First months when Crimea was annexed, our guys, they were here for more than a month, 24/7. They would be here during the day, they would go home, rest and come back. It was more than 30 people. The numbers went down because people got exhausted. And it's very, very hard to keep asking for air defense and for these things just to stay free and protect ourselves. This is why I want to just remind you that we have rallies on Wednesday from 6 till 8, on Saturday from 4 till 6, and on Sunday from 3 till 5. This is when we gather as a peaceful demonstration just to show our presence. So every single tourist, every single person can see those flags, flags of free nation who are fighting for nothing else but their own freedom. We don't want any more land. We never started any wars, as I emphasized. But we will make sure that this war will be first for Ukraine and last for Russia. Slava Ukraini!
Героям слава!
And now we're gonna finish our rally as always with our beautiful, amazing national anthem. If any English-speaking person who is passing by, please have a look online at a single word of that anthem. That anthem represents, if you ask us why we are here, why we are not going away, our national anthem, every single word is a statement of our, thank you for your support. Every single word in that anthem is a statement of our intentions. We can be farmers, but we can be soldiers if needed. Slava Ukraini!
Героям слава!